A rapturous riot of flavour, succulent filling, creamy sauce. All wrapped up in the flakiest of flaky pastries in one or both hands.
Good evening. Hey Gray, thank you for claiming your daily sausage roll. Hope you enjoy it with one or both hands, my love. You're up very late for you. We're back in City Skylines. We're going to build some more of our harbour city. I can see a few little hersey icons. I can see something has burnt down over here, so maybe we need to look at our fire protection, make sure that's working correctly. My camera seems to be duffed, so I am going to hide my camera for the minute, unfortunately, because I've tried messing with it and it's not working. Hi Gray. You can't hear me. Don't do that to me, Gray. My camera's not working. Already having issues this evening. Well, I've not changed anything. Is the music too loud over the top, or is it just you can't hear me at all? I think it might be diddling Grey, because I can hear me fine. I'm annoyed that my camera's not working. You see me, I turn it on, but it's not working. It's the issue. It is frozen. She froze. I froze. Nope. I'm just gonna keep turning it on and off. I don't know if my camera's overheating, which is a crazy idea. She's just a frozen little thing. Activate it. There we go. I'm activated again. Yeah, it's being silly. Yeah, don't laugh, Gray. It's annoying. It's very frustrating. It'll probably be breaking in a minute, so let's not worry about it. Don't know if it's just because it's hot over here now and my camera somehow decides to overheat, which is annoying. I don't know. Lovely to see you too, Gray. But yeah, let's have a little quick nosy at our... It is late for you. I'm surprised you're awake, Gray. Yeah, so fire coverage over here is non-existent. So these guys are probably taking too long to get over here. So we need to put some kind of fire protection into this area. How's your week been, Gray? How's your week been, though? I know your week is basically just starting, but... Yeah, I'm glad mine's... glad my week's over. It's been a bit of a silly one. Where shall we put this fire department so it's out of the way? Put one here potentially. So we've got a little tiny bit of a slope. We could sneak one in here. Like that. And then that means they have really good coverage there now. Yeah, I'm annoyed about my camera. Ooh, lots of dead people in here. That's a shame. But yeah, anybody who might have seen me building my city, I built this transit hub type thing off camera, off stream, because I wanted to play my game. And so we have a train that comes in here, and then it goes to the train yard, and then it connects up with the bus station. And we've got a car park for people to park at when they're coming off the highway. We've got loopy roads, and we've got the bus depot, and then we've got lots of little shops for people to go shopping. Snafu. Snafu indeed. Snafu insurance. And then we've got this crematorium, which has got all the vehicles out being used apparently. So we'll keep an eye on that to see if that goes down. All the road maintenance trucks are out. All the taxis are basically out except for 3. Still feel like I'm quieter than usual. Well, I can't make myself any louder annoyingly. I'm just going to listen to myself off of the stream. Let's have a look, Gray. Let's make Gray happy. Yeah, so my camera is our volume's already up. Come on. Just click a million times, make it louder. Stick it up there like that. Does that make it louder? That does make it louder. How about that, Gray? Is that too loud now? Much better. So let us put the music back on. There we go. So when somebody... Hi, Woody. How are you doing, Woody? Yeah, so taxis are all being used. So that is one thing. Looking up here on my little bar at the top, we need elementary schools and high school apparently. And so we're missing about 1,000 people actually. 600 there. So I'm interested to see where these people are. I think perhaps there's some kids over here, but really that's rammed. So perhaps over here is where we need more for a start. Because there's 2,000 kids there. And we only got one elementary school doing that. So maybe we need another elementary school sneaking in here. Perhaps. Somewhere that makes sense. Maybe up on this hill. Just watching some election analysis on the other screen. Yeah. Elections are fun in the UK right now. So we could build a primary school here. I don't really want it going down that hill. I'm gonna shuffle that sideways a bit, which is a little bit sneaky. And we're gonna bob that in there. We're gonna set this to be operating in this district. And that has capacity for 1,000, so that should be good enough without any expansions on it, potentially. 50 students and then 500, that's kind of crazy. Slope's a bit strange, but that's what is expected, I guess. Okay, I just reset it after I just did it. Yeah, let's put some trees on it in a bit. But yeah, we're building a harbour city. We've got people waiting for hearses now, and I don't know if this is still an issue. where they were needing hearses, so maybe we just need to add in some more into here. Can we see where they all are? Because if they're getting stuck in traffic or something, then that would be an issue, but they don't seem to be. Just going back onto the highway and then down here and into here. So it's a long way for them to go. Well, not that long a way to go, but that's a bit of a ways for it to go. So maybe we just need a few more. Perhaps a different crematorium on the other side of the city, perhaps. So not all coming from the same direction. Because one major thing I want to do this evening is put in a harbour. And whilst it might not be the best place anymore, because we've put our industry over here, I kind of still want to put it into this section, into this gap that I left here. And kind of create an issue for myself, which we then fix. Just because I like to be difficult like that. I'm wondering if we could, because we're going to buy all this island at some point in the future. And we basically have the money anyway, but I'm going to buy these tiles here. Ignore that one for a minute. Get these 2 tiles. And we can put in a crematorium off of this road. Camera's still working good. So we put in a road there and stick a little tiny roundabout on. We can pop in another little crematoria. Off of there, just to try and give a different location for stuff. They want electricity. I imagine they will also want poop and water. Surprisingly. Did that not connect up properly? Perfect. Right, so my grand plan is to figure out where the right tab is. Good night, Gray. Thank you for being here. Have a lovely sleep. My grand plan is to sneak this in here. And then put up with all the annoyance that it creates. Have lovely sleeps, Gray. So we're going to demolish these. Have to unzone that, aren't we, so that we can have a blank slate. There we go. confused as to why things are breaking. So if we pop that in there, like that. Obviously this is going to have trucks and stuff coming from it, so that is an issue. But it's kind of an issue I want to try and fix. And that's partly going to be done by cutting this road off from the rest of them. Yeah, there's my camera going. At least I know what noise it makes now when it decides to break. Because I do have my old camera plugged in, which would be annoying to have to use it. I guess we just have to see this evening how much it messes around. And whether we need to switch to the old cam. Just in cases. Excuse me, coughing. Yeah, so if we can get a road to come in here, like that, which obviously upsets these people because it's going directly over their houses or buildings, factories. But then we cut that off there. Now this road is a little bit annoying in the fact that it kind of has to be there in order to create the key wall. Whether we can replace it with a pedestrian one, or whether we can just switch it like that so that it's not actually going to be usable to get into here, but you won't get traffic coming in here. We will have to see. But then actually having a road that comes down here somehow. That's not very straight. And then we will connect up to this junction. Perhaps this junction will be getting changed anyway. But in the meantime, let us be a little bit cheeky because we're not going to buy all the tiles. We're just going to any key this in. Because why would we want to buy every single tile just to be able to put a shipping lane in? Let's put it somewhere it looks like it makes sense. And then I think there was a little bit here where we need to anarchy some flat the ground in. Just demolish a little bit of an island. Got a lot of things now. So let's get a cargo ship in now. And we should be able to connect up to here. We've got two ships coming in here. You can click on here to see where it actually goes to. Calhoun Falls. So we can see a ship coming in. It's not carrying very much, just concrete apparently. Which tells me we probably need to sort out some stuff in our city. Is this another burnt down building? Yes, so perhaps over here we need to get some coverage. No, not really. Kinda good. I'm struggling a little bit there, which is strange. So, this here, this junction, we are going to have to move some stuff, relocate some stuff for the minute. And move it out of the way. Because we can see that now that there are trucks coming in here trying to get to the cargo harbour. And I want to connect up from here down to here so they're not driving all the way around and stuff, causing traffic. And then we'll have a local connection. But also the other thing I want to solve is getting through traffic from the city that wants to get across the city over this without going through a roundabout. So something similar to this, potentially. But we don't really have a lot of dip, a lot of height to play with downwards. So I'm thinking whether it's the inverse of this, where this cross actually goes through a tunnel, perhaps. And then the local roundabouty bit goes on the top, potentially. And we're going to come back as far as I think we might need to come. I think this transformer station might need to move. Hopefully that's the right distance. obviously we're going to be anarchying most of this in anyway. Because we don't let the game tell us what to do. We do it ourselves. So we're going to need extra lanes. There and there. And I'm wondering whether the tunnel itself just needs to be a little tiny 2-lane one. Yeah, so we have a little tiny tunnel there. We can fiddle around with the actual nodes and stuff. With move it, which is obviously messing with the actual slope, but we can fix that anyway. I just want to get it wide enough that we can build a little tiny roundabout in here. We will click onto our alleyways because they are small. Little box, I think, perhaps to start with. It's just because it's a bit slopey-dopey. So again, I want this to connect up here. And it's whether or not it can do that directly or whether it needs to be kind of switchbackness. But we will play, we will find out. I'm going to put a little wonky road in again. Should I just build that with a normal sized road? Make my life a little bit easier. I feel like that's trying to slope at the bottom. And that feels very steep, potentially. So I'll do for the minute. And then we need to come out from here straight. OBS scared me then, telling me that was an advert coming up. I apologise to these people whose houses I've just destroyed. And is that the post office? It is. I'm going to move the post office over here for the moment, and we will put it back somewhere once we've figured out what we're doing. Demolish that connection for a second. We've got those in, and then I kind of do need road builder, but think we can get away with? Do we think we can get away with that? Interesting. Yeah, a bit annoying with all the snapping. Johnson's a little bit close there, but we'll go with it for the minute. And then this comes in here. Click onto the right thing. Yeah, it's not happy with that. Let's get rid of that. There we go. Ooh, it's a bit high up on this side. And if we can just lift this node up a little bit. Obviously this supermarket is probably in the wrong place now, so actually that connection there should probably come out when you get into the supermarket down there. And then we demolish these bits. We upgrade this to be a single direction road. Like that. Something falling on my foot. It's a bit annoying. So we have a roundabout, and then it's kind of about getting the lanes to be correct. And getting rid of any traffic lights it might decide to put on. So it's trying to do kind of what you'd want. These being governed, they are being governed by traffic, so we don't want that. We don't want these crossings directly here. And I would presume that the better thing to do would be to put an extra lane on the slip roads for a start. So we come here and we do it like this, where we upgrade that to be 2 and upgrade this to be 3 like that. They've got that lane there. What does this look like if we put in the extra lane here? So I kind of think that's what you would expect. And it looks a little bit of a mess, especially this tunnel. But we can fix the tunnel. I wonder if we could go a little crazy and elevate those two bits and actually demolish that again. And then shrink this brush down, drop it down really far, which is obviously too far. We find a level in here, about there perhaps. Push that out sideways. And then we shrink the brush, slope from there to there. And then slope from there to there. And then we should be able to just try and find the right part of this road to snap to. Just do that. And again, it kind of needs a little bit of tweaking to help with the kind of breaking of it. Trying to see which way Move It wants to fix it. Demolish a couple of these trees that Move It's put in. That's a car. I'm trying to delete a car. And then we go back and we small brush. We're already on small, and then we just pull this up a bit, not too close. And soften it. And really we could attempt to pull these back there like this. Pull that back a little bit. Looks a little bit more sensible. And hopefully we can just tweak these wibbles a little bit so that they don't look too wibblish. It's got a bit wibbly. That's a tree, so we're going to ignore the tree. Wibbly. It's well wibbly. It's cooking. should probably install the better bulldozer or whatever mod. But I just have to be a little bit careful, is all. And then look at all the floaty cars. We're going to remove these trees because I think it might be a bit difficult for people to see around. That angle looks a little bit odd here now. I wonder if there's anything we could do with that, just to kind of round it off a little bit. There we go. Here again, there's a little bit of a oddness. Trying to see if there's a there's something in here somewhere where I can edit these. Was there not? If it flashes up there, I can't get to them. There we go. I knew there was gonna be a place. And I'm wondering, because in the UK we would have 2 lanes coming onto here. And 2 lanes coming off. So that just wants to do that. But I wonder if we could just do that and it would give us a slip road. Whether that is just a little bit more realistic, because I think giving people lots of lovely slip roads is always a lovely idea. Demolishing people's houses is a bit tad unfortunate, but that's what they get for progress. So I think we can finally unpause, let people figure it out, and then go, oh, we haven't got any poop now, and the water's all broken. Oh dear. Yeah, because it's here, and I've now disconnected it. There they are. Yeah. Yeah, they're connected up here, and now this is a little island on its own. So, what we should probably do is connect that up to there. Which probably need to be that. Should we check this? So that we are doing it proper. Like that. And then these folks want to be connected up. So that now should probably come across there like that. And we're going to ditch that extra bit of stuff. And we've now broken the electric. We have broken the electric, so I should probably put that through there. And then pass that across into there. Because actually this is where all the power of this area is coming in. Perfect, everybody's happy. So we have built a roundabout. for turning in and going down there. It's what we like to see. And then what we need to do is fix up this terrain. It decided it was going to help itself rather than let me attack it. And we've got a little tiny bit here. Should do that, and then we'll convert it to an alleyway just to make it a bit shorter. Put that as a key wall. Just gonna put it all the way in there. Do we end up with a nice smooth edge? But then we can bob a bit more industry back in here. Not that I think industry actually might stay here, because I am thinking of converting this all to offices. Not high density stuff. So, just looking at that and going, the high school might be the next thing that was actually an issue. Yes, we're on the bubble with elementary, but we do have the ability to upgrade it. High schools are an issue. We've got another high school in here, which is rammed. And then we do, that's doing both, is it? Yes, it's doing Harbour Wharf and Eastgate Old Town. So we probably need to get another one in somewhere that just do Harbour Wharf potentially. It's got 400 teens. Eastgate Old Town has got 1,000, and this can hold 1,200. So yeah, we need a little high school. There's obviously that's not that big. Gladly, that's even smaller. It holds a load of people. They are a lot smaller than I was kind of expecting. It's only when you can compare it to the original, which is just huge. The small high school isn't that small. That's got a big field. British one's massive. I'm leaning towards the modern one, but where we fit it in? It could potentially go on the back here. Lose a couple of offices. Just bobbed it in over the top using Anarchy, which is not necessarily what I meant to do. I'm going to demolish it because actually I quite like the high-rise building being there. So I'm going to pop the zoning back in. Hopefully it's not going to get upset. Oh, no, it is upset. Oh, well. Ah, well, let us demolish them then. If it was going to D-zone anyway. We're going to pop that in there again. I really need to be a bit more careful with that, Nikki. I'm presuming it will go away in a minute anyway. Nope. I'm sure it'll go away in a minute. Not going to worry about it. But this then is Harbour Wharf. And this one is no longer Harbour Wharf. And we are going to put in... Going to get rid of the zoning on here. Potentially by upgrading that to be like that. And we're going to turn this into one big thing again. So we can get another big high-rise back in here. Another big high-rise office. So have a quick look at our bus routes. Yeah, they're all doing okay. Not a lot of people on them. And a bit of traffic starting up here. I don't know if it's just people not knowing how to use the lanes. I'm going to remove that. This might be the wrong thing to do. Because nobody should really be coming up there to go off there. any of that make any sense. Just going on vibes and what I feel like you might expect to see in reality. And certainly there isn't any traffic there right now. Should we look at our production tab and go, we don't actually need anything. Stone is an issue. Maybe we should bring a stone mine in somewhere. Doesn't even matter where we do it. Kind of the issue with stone mines in this game, possibly any City Skylines game, is you can just do whatever the heck you want, and it feels a little bit random. I'm just looking around to see if there's anywhere where I feel like it would make sense. I might just add it onto the back of this industrial estate. A couple more tiles. And we could potentially put like a stone mine on the edge of here or something. Just a complete. Maybe no reason why, just doing it. Try and skirt these trees there. And what I was imagining is that where we've got these cliffs, maybe somebody has been decided to put a stone mine in here. There we go. What do we think that's done? Something. In terms of natural resources then, what else are we missing? Ore and coal, which isn't necessarily the easiest thing to get to on this map. There's something going on underneath these trees which looks intriguing. And there's a patch there. There's a big lump here. A little tiny bit up there, which is potential. I'm intrigued by this bit. Simply because we could do something in the wood. There's a train line and stuff here. So you kind of go, we could grab those two. And get the landscaping brush. And clear out some of the trees in here. I say some, I mean all. The camera seems to have started behaving now, which is good. But then we've got a little kind of area where we could pop in just a road through the middle or something. They could do some coal and ore mining in here. Hopefully make the city a little bit more profitable. Really, I'm just wondering if it could just be a road straight off it without actually worrying about putting a junction in, because it's going to get so little traffic. Let's turn on those a sec. So we'll try and get up the hill. In a way that makes sense. And then we can come in here and just have a quick look at this. To go, yeah, we need loads of oil, which we're not doing anyway at the minute. And then we need a little bit of ore mining and coal mining. So they do want water, funnily enough. So we will give them a little tiny water tower. They want power, so we will hook them up. Is it as simple as hooking it up to there? No, we can't just hook up to there. I didn't think it was. But we can put in a wind turbine up here. Is there anywhere on top of this hill that actually gets something decent? No. The irony of this industry being powered by wind. It's kind of perfect that you've got a little tiny lake to just pump poop into. Follow that there with the wrong kind of pipe. I bet I could upgrade it, couldn't I? I bet I could, but I'm not gonna. And they are then happy. So let's look at our production tab. We've got a surplus now, and then get some coal in. Let's do it a little bit differently, just to be a little bit different. Yeah, so they are digging into this hill. A noisy wind turbine. So we need to give them an area. Kind of leaving a little bit of a gap there where I could potentially put a road in. So there we go, so they've got a big massive diggy thing on it now. It's just like ridiculous. I was going to put in a little car park, a modest little car park, and what I was also going to do is, because we have the train line here, I feel like it makes sense to try and pop in a tiny little train station. Because I feel like these kind of companies, they would be charging, or they would be paying a lot of money for this, and they would probably be coughing up money in order to have a train station for their workers to get here. And also they could ship stuff out, I suppose. Maybe that's what we do. Maybe we leave enough space that we could do both. Potentially. How big is the cargo train terminal? It's pretty big. It is possible though. Can we get this one in first? Because it's tiny. If it went that way around. Put it there. And we can then connect that up again. And then the game goes, no, you can't do that because you're connected to the outside world. You see, a silly game, shush. It's gone a little bit too far, looks a bit wonky. There we go. So this wants a little rolled. I'm on a curve when I don't want to be on the curve. That's our little road for there. And then our cargo train terminal. If we put it onto that road, it wants the train to come out that side. If we put it there where this road is here, it wants to do it that way around. Really, what we need to do is have it do this, and the road's going to have to go all the way around it. I don't mind it being wonky like that. Because that gives us the most distance from this track for us to be able to sweep it in. And a little bit of a dip there which could use to explain why it's going to kind of sweep in here. Pull that up to there, and then can we get it in? Yeah, I just want to pop it in. And then use our lovely move it tool to just try and pull it out. And then we can faff with it a little bit. think that looks good. And then we need to move it all the way up here. There's a bit of a road there, so maybe that bit. How is our production anyway? I don't think we'll necessarily know until I actually run the game proper. 15 extra tons than we actually need, which is good. So we've only got one lane anyway. Could go to there. That can curve in. So we've got one in there now. And we can put in a cargo train line that goes from there to there and then out the other way and then back into here. Heather Glenn, whoever she is. Because what we then also should probably do is get another cargo train terminal in up here, which involves putting a train line in up here. We should probably buy the tiles to do it. But at least this can export stuff if it needs to. And the other thing is getting the passenger line in, so that it stops here, because this automatically goes to our city. Be nice if I could see it. Is that the train, the cargo line underneath? Yeah, okay, that is fine. Yeah, it should be. That makes sense. And if there are any people wanting to cross over, we will put in a bridge that goes across the highway and the train line. say hi. I was trying to be clever and won't know how to use the move it tool, and I don't. And we will put in another little carpaccio. Squitch it in there. Oh no, that is in with Anarchy apparently. No. There you go. Wish they gave you a list of employees when you went on here, so you could see all the employees that work there. Because you can see kind of where they come from. So we can see that this person here is coming to work. Cameron Taylor. Very noisy. Now coming to work. Should probably add a little slip road in for them. Just so that they are feeling a little bit safer. No, it's not what we need. We just need a 3-lane thingy, don't we? And then we need to tell the game to stop being silly. I suppose they do want it right. But we're not going to let them. You're just going to travel straight onwards, thank you. I'm just going to make it so it only works for us. And what we want to be doing. And not not what the game thinks it wants to be doing. Yeah, so there we go. Is it hot? It's a little bit warm, but it doesn't seem to be doing anything dodgy. Shall we save the game a minute? Look at our production tab. So we're still needing stone. Is there a fancy building we can unlock by putting lots of stone things in? No. Just mining areas. They do add towards the thing, don't they? Because we got 2 stone and an ore and a thingy bob mine, so we can put another stone mine in. And it helps us. Because I think that reduces the price of lots of stuff. Now let's put in another stone mine. The game making it bounce around. Here we go. And I left a little tiny out here. Put one of our little modest car parks into it. Police is orange on my little bar at the top. Crime rate, so I'm just going to have a quick look at that. See if these folks aren't doing very well. All the patrol cars are out. All the patrol cars are out. So maybe we need a better police solution for the city. Which obviously would involve getting a headquarters built, perhaps. Not that we have the money for it. We could just pop another little small one up here. There or something, just to cover this area, but then help a little bit. Makes it less orange. Still orange. But really, I think we just need to expand the population. And one of those ways is, I did this the other day, where we have our train line, and we got all this farmland, and then in these little tiny bits, I was wondering if we could try and sneak some kind of suburban-y rural housing stuff. So some little housing estatey bits where we would try and keep the sizes quite small. I go up or down? It goes up a little bit. But we would come up this hill, then we will go back down again. I've got this other road over here that I kind of want to connect into. I think there is still fertile ground here. So we're just going to connect into here. Like so. Keep that going out there for the minute. But we have then this little area here, which we then build cul-de-sacs and stuff off. Which is always my favourite way of building in cities. We've got a terrain line here which we're going to respect. With our got a little cul-de-sacs. And then it is a case of dropping in our nodes. Just give you loads of lovely XP. But here, where we've got it coming out further than I would like, we are going to come back a bit so we have at least the two on the end. I think we're okay everywhere else. But then it's just a case of popping in just this little 2-unit deep houses. And then anywhere where it keeps going too deep, we're gonna come back, stick a load of paths in. And try and densify it. Definitely eating up the lower density demand. We are a big city. What does that go as? A pinfall palace, in fact. It's a bowling alley. That might be good at my transport hub, because that's the kind of thing you would get there. And it's just low limits now, is it? Okay. Well, I wasn't finished zoning, thank you. So we're zoning. Just managing the size of these. We are controlling it and getting all these little houses. That's kind of annoying, and we need to faff with that. I think that's mostly done, maybe over here. Up to there where the road changes is where we want to go. Yup. So that's all those little houses in, and then in order to control some of this zoning. Well, I don't know why you're shouting about it. We're not even anywhere near. If only there was a zoning tool to turn the zoning on and off. We will tidy this up once I've been through and kind of controlled all these zones a bit. Try and get more houses squished in the middle, perhaps. It might just be that we end up with some funny line paths in the middle. But being able to turn zoning on and off, and being able to decide how deep the zoning would be really cool. Surely it's got to be possible. These kind of don't really matter. But yeah, we get an extra plot there, which is great. There's a bit more zoning we can put in. Looking at this bit here. Nope, doesn't do anything. Just demolish that so we get 2. slightly bigger house. So can you? What else have we got here? That's going to become 2 houses. So there you go. And now what we need to do is kind of join up some of these paths so they actually make a little bit of sense without hopefully destroying any houses in the process. Because it has the benefit of giving walkability to all these bits. Zoom all the way in, see if we can get this to hook up without anything messing up. Teensy bit of anarchy. And again. We are getting there. Don't you do that? Thank you. That's a couple of sections. Dog walkie pet thing, perhaps? So there we go. And then to make it fill in a little bit more, we're going to pop some trees in. And we have to make sure it's definitely not got any anarchy on. I'm going to knock that down to about 75. And we're going to make sure that we're putting a spread of stuff in. Putting some stuff on the surface next to the highway. The zoning is weird in this game. Woody, I was locked in there. It is weird. It's very annoying. It's annoying that you can't control it better. By default, I've been playing Cities 1 on Sunday where they have the little zoning control. Why that's not in here is crazy to me. Just trying to be careful and not put anything onto the tracks because I am going to have to delete it. And the good news is on this map I've turned off natural disasters because they were a bit annoying, and the forest fires in particular used to keep happening and make my computer chug on stream, which wasn't helpful. So we don't have to worry about any of these trees burning down. Yeah, I'm very excited for the ports thing. It's kind of perfect for this city. That's still not rebuilt. There's a few buildings in here that I haven't rebuilt after burning down. So I'm very excited for the ports, bridges and ports expansion, like DLC stuff. Because it's perfect for this city. They've just added the notice that the achievements are in Steam. So it's talking about fishing and stuff, and having a certain length of key wall in the city and stuff. So it may end up being that these kind of tools get replaced by something a bit more sensible, or maybe an actual proper key wall tool road type thing, rather than using roads as key walls. We end up with the Cities 1 style key wall line thing. What's this in here? Entering unlocked building. That's what was that about? Yeah, so I think that looks really cute. I want to do it onto that bit as well. We've got plenty of time on stream to do another one. But what we should probably do is put a district in so we can see what's going on. And I'm just going to do it like this on these corners. And we can follow the train line, because it's probably the case that we need a school in here. Evergreen End. Oh, that's nice. So in Evergreen End we have 452 people and only 105 children. But obviously there are no schools in Evergreen End. So maybe we put in some schoolage. And this school gets called an urban school. Victoria Urban Inner City Urban Primary School. You're going, that's really like my primary school that I went to, and it was not in an urban environment. So that makes them happy there, makes everybody happy here. I feel like that is probably perfect for them. But I did grow up in a northern town. Maybe that's what they all look like in north. But we will set that to be Evergreen End Primary School. Evergreen End. And now there ain't enough water in this area now, but we're basically connected to the city. So we should probably just connect this up to the main grid. There is a there's been a civil engineering project to connect Evergreen End up to the rest of the city grid. And we could probably look to see if there's any groundwater. Yeah, literally groundwater directly under here. Which kind of really makes sense for Evergreen End to put this back into the city. Just despite it being there being stuff here, they don't actually pollute the ground, do they? No. So if we connect that up to there with some anarchy, and then we can bulldoze some trees. That basically means that our city is like double the amount of consumption that we need to do. We do need to sort out the electricity, because we've not actually got a proper power plant or anything in the city, and we're importing most of it. So we do need to sort that out at some point, but I'm having too much fun building stuff and spending all my money. What's going on here? You're just moaning about that still. Yeah, that'll fade eventually. This is where the old industry used to be, and it used to be all the way down here, and this is all cleaned up really slowly. That's where our old rubbish dump used to be. And that got cleaned up. We're processing twice as much as we were producing, so with our incineration plant. And put in another load of cul-de-sac houses there. Just wondering if we should have a road here that then connects up into the houses. That looks like it's no, really we should be putting roads along all these things, shouldn't we? I feel like little lanes that you would drive down. Potentially, maybe not. I don't know. I've had a little look around. Keep it close-ish to the edge here. And then we will come up here like that and then follow that a little bit. Move the stuff a sec so I can put it in. Just following the edge of these fields. And then that can probably go there actually. That's where it would disappear out. And then we put in our little cul-de-sac bulbs. That's probably okay there. Don't like doing crossroads. Don't feel like we have many crossroads like that. Do it like this. And then it's dropping all our little cul-de-sacs in. Right, and again, some of these need shifting a bit. There we go. Oh, there's one missing here. Ooh, we got a traffic jam, have we? Oh, it's just the train line. Keep an eye on that in case these trains are just blocking the road too often. Where are you going? Oh, you're going back to the depot. Here we go, they all get to go moving again. There's no other trains coming down here. I think it's just the usual train traffic that you would expect. Oh, there's a train now. It's a little bit close, that's close, too close than I would like. Can we shuffle this way then? So that we are away from these trees. There we go. Sneak a little thing in here. But yeah, they're just putting the little 2D buildings in. Perfect there. Yeah, the zoning is weird in this game, and you would expect that it would be better than the previous game, and it's not. It's either the same or worse. And you're kind of going, what's the point in just doing it the same? In terms of controllability and stuff. I'm aware they changed how all the roads got built, the roads and stuff. You control roads through roads, and you can build crazy junctions that mix a million roads together. But what about the zoning? Right, so we're putting in our little passage. It does exactly what I want it to. Gives us those extra little zones. There we go. There's that. Can we put a path in here? Guess extra houses on that. I think that's all of them. So we zone all these extra little plots up. Like so. And I think that's all of them. Extra little thing pops there. You can have a bigger house. Sometimes I have used the alley roads for this kind of thing, these little cul-de-sacs. I wish there was a road in between these and alleys, and I know I could use road builder, and I have used road builder, but I like the pavements, I like the sidewalks that they have on these. I wish there was a version that had no parking but sidewalks and stuff, and obviously again I could install road builder, but I kind of like using the vanilla roads as much as possible. I wish there was a road in between these two that had pavements but no parking on it, and wasn't just the wide sidewalk, which is just like looks a little silly. So I wish there was something in between these two by vanilla, and again I could install road builder, but I don't really like doing that. I like to play as vanilla as possible, but with a few things that just make my life a bit easier, like anarchy and whatever. But yeah, I wish there was that extra little thing, because I like having the pavements. I like seeing them walk their little dogs around the pavements and whatnot. Here we go, we can see little people going through the walks, and I like them walking down the pavements. And when you've got these houses where they've all got driveways and stuff and they all park on the drives, it feels a little bit silly to have road, and having a wide sidewalk just feels a little bit ridiculous. I'm aware that like in the UK especially, we have this is exactly what our roads look like, where you have pavements and then you can park your car on the side of the road and they look like this. It feels like there should be something slightly smaller without parking, but yeah. I have used the alleys before, but when I used the alleys I missed the pavements is the thing. I yearn for the pavements. Paths, that's what we're doing. So we've just got to connect up all these little bits of path that exist now. A little bit of nonsense. Where have you come from? You don't tell me. Have you gotten off the train? How many people are waiting? There's only 2 people waiting. Can I click on that please, game? Thank you. Where are these people coming from? Because there's a lot of you. I feel like you got out in your cars at the crossing or something. I wonder where they've come from. Don't need anarchy for this. Because we're just going to be careful. And as I said before, I like the fact that this adds that little extra bit of walkability into the area. Even if it is a horrible hack in order to try and get the zoning how I want it. Extra little zones here which I hadn't noticed. You get to have a bigger house, well done, congratulations. And we put the path through here and into there. It needs to go to there. And we can probably do that to that. Can we sneak through here without losing anything? We can. Sneak, sneak. No, don't want to lose zoning. No, it's the end of the world. We lost zoning. Thank you. I think that's all that done. And then we can do our little tree population.
A rapturous riot of flavour, succulent filling, creamy sauce. All wrapped up in the flakiest of flaky pastries in one or both hands.
Hi Kitty, thank you for claiming your daily sausage roll. Please enjoy it with one or both hands. How are you, my dear? Happy Friday. I don't think she's here. I think she's run away. I'm good, thank you, my dear. I am very well, thank you. Some spruces in here. Need to put some bushes along these edges of these fields or something. Wild green bushes. Anarchy. It is 7:30. Keep going for a bit. Here we go. So we have two little extra little bits of housing in Evergreen End, which is only 839 people, 219 kiddies, 73 teens. In terms of healthcare, how are they feeling? They're feeling pretty happy because the hospital's covering them. How is our crematorium doing? Only 7 of 20. So it's doing well. About fire over here. Ooh, it's a bit risky. We put a little tiny firehouse in, couldn't we? Just to protect these folks. It's next to the train station. Did I put that in with anarchy? I probably did. I did. But it won't let me put it in because of this road over there, apparently. And how about police? Yeah, no police. A moan about the road as well. We probably need a better solution. Ooh. Not enough power being generated, but we're now connected up to the city again. So what we will do is, if we can afford it, we will buy that tile there. Because then we can come over here, pop in a transformer, and connect up to it. Somebody unfortunately has crashed off of the highway. We were moving away. Well, you deserve it then. Got some extra trees on this. Did I ever delete them? I can't remember. Yes, so I wanted to put in a police station. So we got this little complex of stuff here, but maybe we should put in the police station somewhere else. Because obviously this is the most built up area. Maybe. Please put that over there for a bit, thank you. What we'll do is we will expand this road out as we probably should have done in the first place. And then we will wonder why it's wonky. we can put in our police station. Just put it back, shall we? For funsies. And then they can go and travel around and arrest people. That person's car has burnt down. How's our traffic down here looking? See again, why is there not an industrial road that we could use by default? Removing the parking along there so I can actually see how much traffic from this harbour there is. There's lots of things stored. Production tab. And we need more chickens, and we need more veggies. So we should probably expand our little bit over here. Because we have the rest of this blob in order to fill in. Extend some of these roads out so we can see. Do fun things like that. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome in. I hope you're doing well. And we got a little kind of bit here. So we are gonna kind of just put in a little road there as a boundary marker for myself. And then it was chickens and carrots, wasn't it? Yes. So, chickens and carrots. Hello, also from the UK. Because that's where I am. I'm also in the UK. And that's probably as far as that can go, isn't it? Yes. So we will put it to there. And we won't worry about the fact that this goes out of the zone. Chickens. And it was carrots. Keep forgetting. Where do we need to put this in order to get it filled up? rotten. You put trees on your farm as well? Excellent. All the best people do that. Just make them feel a little bit more natural. I'm not entirely sure I like these all being the same height, but that's what I did by accident, so let's go with it. We like a little bit of treeage. So we'll leave that for a minute before we fill the rest of these in, just to see how well it progresses. This one can get extended though, now that we know where our road goes up to. And we will put in some more trees, but I'm going to put spruces in again, but I'm going to make sure I have everything clicked on like that. Oh, yeah, clicked on like that. And then we will anarchy in these trees, but they will all be different sizes now, which just feels a little bit more natural. And obviously they'll all grow to exactly the same size eventually, but I'm going to leave that. I'm just going to do it in the middles, potentially. And then I will come with the wild bushes. And I'm going to put wild bushes along here. Just a little bit lower. Because I have another technique of how I put trees in along these things, which I'm going to try and see if it looks any better. Which is to use the brush tool. And I also have a little sneaky thing that I like to do. So we get our spruces, we get our brush tool, make sure it's on all those different sizes, and we put it on a little tiny brush. And we just, not have an again because that ruins it. Yeah, I might have made these a little bit too close, but yeah, so here, where we're doing it properly, you end up with not a row of trees, but all splattering of trees. Obviously, if you went over it a million times, it would look way more liney. But I think that looks even more natural, which sometimes is nice. And then you come over here and fix your anarchied bits, because it kind of alludes to my other thing that I like to do, which is to come in here and get an oak tree, which is fully grown, and we're just going to anarchy some oak trees into the field. Skip a few fields and then come in over here. Also next to buildings is always fun. Just kind of need one up in here. I'm going to go with 4. Or shape like that. But yeah, that just makes it look a little bit nicer. Definitely, these trees all being the same height look really samey, whereas it looks way better with those other Billy Bobs. Obviously without having forest fires on, it's not going to destroy the trees, which is a bit annoying, but maybe someone will crash their tree into them. Crush their car. I am playing I can't remember. What am I playing Lakeland, that's what I'm playing I'm gonna save anyway. We're playing on the Lakeland map. We have been building our little harbour city, which with the ports and bridges expansion DLC that's coming, I'm very excited for. Where's all our money going? I think it's not going into that. I feel like it's going into we're spending a lot of money on transportation. I was going to say electricity, but we're not actually. A lot of money on healthcare. You haven't played this map yet, I do recommend it. And we got our city, and it's all spread out. We got little bits everywhere. And we haven't had anything too disastrous happen, like in terms of traffic and stuff so far. So we just need to build more. I think we just need to build more. I've been detailing-ish, and I've been faffing around with little fiddly bits. We probably just need to get in and build a bunch more stuff. Fingers crossed. It's been a little quiet since May. Oh, not May, we're in May. Since March, when they did their anniversary update. Shall we respect these trees? I think we shall. I think we shall respect the trees. Yes, the fishing thing. I'm very excited for the fishing thing. I'm very excited to be able to put a drawbridge in here. Hopefully, you never know. We might be able to have like little drawbridges in here or something, or I might have to modify one of these to have a bigger section cut out of it. But yeah, that'll be cool. I'm very excited for the fishing thing, where we can get some fishing grounds put in here or something. It is going to be cool, hopefully. Don't whack my mic. Just make sure we got this gridded up a little bit, so that we are making the most of our land. Yeah, I agree. We need it. So that is a bunch of stuff that we can put some industry into. And the reason I'm starting with industry, when I've got my demand bar here, I do hope we get some lovely ferries as well. Because again, I'm also hoping that they give us those boat assets as ploppable things as well, so I can plop some little boats into my harbours and stuff. But at the very least, putting a ferry route down one of these canals or something would be really cool. But yeah, so I did a load of industrial zoning because we have industry over here at the minute. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to de-zone it. That can possibly stay. I'm going to de-zone these bits of industry. That can be zone industry there. Because what is going to happen is I'm going to put more residential and offices and stuff in here. And obviously we're going to have to wait for that to all disappear. There is no air pollution over here, surprisingly. A little bit there. But yeah, we're going to have to wait for that to disappear. I don't think the offices will necessarily care about that. So we can get rid of these buildings first in order to stop them from producing yuckiness. I think these possibly need to go. Just because they're very close in terms of creating yucky ground. Why can't I demolish you because of that bridge? That's crazy. So, got lots of traffic, but not traffic, lots of parking going on there. People parking on the road. We're going to solve that by sticking in a car park. Just going to eat all of our money, is it? Lol. And we are going to put that maybe over here would make sense, where this junction is. Like that. Yeah, there's a little bit of zoning there. Just don't want it to pop up and do something random. Then I'm going to slowly fill out this area with big plots like that. Have a little look to see if there was anything particular I did. It had all the little pedestrian roads between them. Put one on that. What's the zoning doing there? Can we get one in there? Yes. It's not really affecting the demand bar, which is good, because it means I can keep going. bit lined up there, I don't like that. And I have a little bit of a rule in my head when I stick high density in. I don't like having two high density, really tall skyscraper buildings directly next to each other. Looks like that there is a little bit upsetting to me, where they're right directly next to each other. And obviously I know that you get that in real life, but I like to leave a little bit of a breathing room around them, because I do. We will pop in some smaller high density, is it? Is that what I'm doing? Yes, we'll get in some smaller ones here. Which immediately eats all the thing. But that go in there, and then we're going to redo this area. And stick in a big one on that corner there. And then all our industry is kind of over here, except for that little section there, which I'm kind of happy with. And then we are gonna have to anarchy that in. Disrespect these trees a little bit. The terrain is causing some fun things here, so we might have to kind of be a little bit more sensitive with our zoning. It's all very yellow. Can't demolish that building because of a road. Here we go. And we can get our terrain tools and sort that slope out a little bit. Be 100% smooth, it just has to look a little bit more sensible. You got a gap here in these trees which we can plop a bit more in. Shift some dirt around. Right, where are we with our production? So more chickens, and then it's oil that we're not doing anything about. So we can come back over here to our little farm area, and we can pop in another farm building. More livestock chickens. And I'm going to do my other little thing that I like to do, which is leave a plot next to it, where we will pop in a little house. Obviously that farm's got a house kind of built onto it already, I like adding a little house next to it. And I added little houses next to my farms. Is the official song. And I can't go through that tree. I also like having a mixture of things. We got little chickens. It's a very big field to just put some tiny little chickens in. Tractor. Where are the carrots? I can't see them. And what's going on with your wheels? Imagine if we could see the carrots growing. That would be fun. Judging by some of the detail that they put into this game. But not expected. Ooh, look at all these popped in really fast. Normally they take forever to come in. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come here and we are gonna upgrade some of these to be pedestrian only. So we still have the ability to drive around the outside. But actually this area is a nice kind of pedestrian thing. How is our ground pollution looking? Still horrific. But we can keep going with our little pedestrian streets. Because these basically just want to go around like that and border these buildings. It helps with the zoning. But it also helps not having buildings pop up directly next to them. It's in water apparently. But then, because I can potentially drop in a big residential block here, and then we'd have little offices and stuff next to it. So what I will do is we will continue that road up here. which will destroy that. So we will delete that quickly. Because we have a 6x6 block there, which is perfect. So we will put in roads like that. Just try to figure out what we could do. Shall we pop in another block of stuff there, which will give us a couple of smaller buildings. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to put in a road there, which then gives us here for 5x5, which is 2 more little buildings. Yeah, we're not really eating any of that demand. Which is surprising. It's 8 o'clock. I should probably finish so I can eat my tea. I'm just having fun. Okie dokie. I think we are probably done there before I keep going for too long and then not get any tea and then be hungry and then not be able to sleep because I've got no food in my tummy. Let us admire the city. Look at this roundabout that I built. It's functioning perfectly. It's getting bigger. There's a lot going on. Let us have a look, oh shofty, at who is on. It is looking good, thank you, Woody. It'll look even better when they add some ferries in. Do 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 do. Let us go make a friend, as we should. As you always should. You should always make friends. So let us pop that out so I can actually see what's going on. We will go and say hello. Why is that person not popping up in my thing? It's because they're in different. We will go say hello to Jessie, who is also playing City Skylines. who apparently is evicting all her tenants for the sake of style, which is just my kind of vibe. But I will be back on Sunday. We will be playing City Skylines 1 again, because we can play it with crowd control. But yeah, so I'll be back on Sunday morning. City Skylines 1, crowd control, craziness. Feel free to come in, say hello. Woody, thank you for being here. Alien Zombie, lovely to meet you, my dear. Thank you for the follow. I hope you see you again next time. But we'll be City Skylines 1 on Sunday, City Skylines 2 back again next Friday. But I love you all. Bye bye.